Peace and Yah bless. Yah's the strong one. The strong one is Yah. He's the tree of life. He's the fountain of living waters. He's the spirit and creator of all things that live and breathe. On this particular discourse, I'm going to talk about qualifying for the land of Israel. Okay? Qualifying for the land of Israel. In other words, qualifying for the kingdom of God on earth. Okay? Qualifying for the kingdom of God on earth. Yah, his kingdom, which is the fifth kingdom and final kingdom of the earth. Okay? After the fourth and final kingdom is abolished by Yah himself. Okay? He overthrows the fourth kingdom. And then the fifth kingdom is ushered in, the kingdom of God, Yah, the Holy One of Israel. Now, there are a great many of you who probably are a bit confused about some things concerning Deuteronomy chapter 23. Okay? Now, I'm going to talk about males and females. Who qualifies, who does not, and why they do not. Okay? So let's get down to that because, like I said, there's things in this book that you read and, it can be confusing, if Yah doesn't show it to you, correctly. Because a lot of people out here talking, but a great many of them don't know what they're talking about, when it comes to these scriptures. Especially if they are these other nations. Because the Most High don't show this plan to the other nation like he shows it to us. Even though we're all reading the same books. He shows the entirety of it to us. His people, his servants. Okay? That's in the book. Okay? Now, let's talk about these different factions of people that Yah is not going to allow to come into the land of Israel and why. Okay? Because I know, some of these women who are married, especially the black woman, who are married to maybe, other races or different men, they want to know why, why they can't come into the kingdom. Okay? So let's discuss why. Okay? Let's get down to it. Deuteronomy chapter 23. All right? Without getting to the whole entire thing. A bastard shall not enter into the congregation of Yah. Even to his 10th generation, he shall not enter into the congregation of Yah. Okay? Now, that's not a bad word. People use it as a bad word. This is just talking about children of incest. That's what a bastard is. Okay? Because if you go back to Lot, when you read the book of Genesis, and Abraham, Lot's daughters cohabitated with their father. They got him drunk and they had sex with their father, because they thought that, they were going to be eradicated off the earth. So, they went and did a heinous thing. And that's what brought about the two tribes or the two peoples called the Ammonites and the Moabites. Today, they call themselves the Chinese, North Koreans, South Koreans, Taiwanese, Vietnamese, so on and so forth, right? Okay? Ammonites, Moabites, okay? Now, which one is which? It doesn't matter. They're still the same peoples. Okay? That's who was talking about right here. All right? Now, we know the story of Ruth because Ruth was so inclined about Naomi, who was a Yehudite, right? From the tribe of Judah, right? She loved Naomi so much and she loved the tribe of Yehudah so much that whenever Ruth came from Moab over to the territory of Judah following Naomi, and she also followed the true God Yah. Well, then Yah accepted her, okay? So, the biggest reason why the Most High is not going to let the males, now it's the males only, dealing with the Ammonites and the Moabites, okay? The Moabitic tribes. Their males may not come into the congregation, okay? All right, why? Okay, even to their 10th generation, they should not enter to the congregation of Yah forever. Okay, because of this right here. If you know the story of the Exodus, whenever we were wandering the 40 years, and then when we finally came out of the wilderness, and we're trying to go all the way up, into the land. Okay, when we traversed through some of their territories, they wouldn't help the Israelites. Okay? So the Most High tells you in verse number 4 about the Moabites, why he's not dealing with them, okay? Or their males, okay? Or even their females. The females who are not worshiping Yah, if they're not worshiping Yah, they can't come into the congregation either, right? Why? Because they, talking about, these Moabites and Ammonites, met you not with bread and with water in the way, okay? When you came forth of Egypt, and because they hired against thee Balaam, the son of Beor, of Pethor, of Mesopotamia, to curse thee. For all those who know the story, they kept hiring these wizards and stuff, these witches, shaman, to try to curse the children of Israel. But if you know the story, it kept blessing the children of Israel. Every time Balaam tried to curse them, that curse turned into a blessing for the children of Israel. Okay, they still do those same things today. And they wouldn't even give bread and water, to the children of Israel. Okay, so that's the biggest reason why Yah said, okay, well, you're not coming to my congregation forever. Now, when it says enter into the congregation, it's talking about when we actually establish Yah's kingdom on earth. Okay, so when that happens, when that establishment happens, then when it's declared that the kingdom of God is on earth, right, and is established, that's when the time clock starts for these other factions, okay? And I'm going to go over that right now. But the Moabite females, those who want to serve Yah, now here's the criteria. Those who want to serve Yah, well, they can come on in, okay? But those who do not, well, you can't come in. The Moabite males can't come in at all. But what they can do, like I said, if they have families or family members who serve Yah, but they, or whatever the case is, and they coming, like I said, they coming out of North America, well, then the only thing you can really do, let's say you have an entire family, is the males of that family will just, station them close where you can see them. Maybe like in Egypt, somewhere like that, or in Jordan, or in Lebanon, Iraq, Syria, a lot of places you can stage people, all right, where you can still see your family. Okay, especially if they're of the male persuasion, okay? Because Yah's not going to allow them to come into the congregation. Simple as that. There's nothing you can do about it. Yah made this. The God of Israel made this. And you see the reason why. Because they never would help our people. And they've always basically been the enemy of our people the whole time. Okay? Even up to this very date. The Most High tells us, he said, thou shalt not seek their peace, nor their prosperity, all of thy days forever. You know what I mean? So in other words, don't worry about what they're doing. Don't be going out trying to get riches from them or any of that stuff right there. He's don't worry about all that. Whatever they get, he blesses them with, and well, that belongs to them. Don't worry about, don't be seeking them out for prosperity, is my point. Okay. Now, verse number 7. Thou shalt not hate an Edomite, okay? For he is thy brother, as I done told the Edomites, the Jews, 1,000 times. Even though most of them still to this day can't accept this. Because I've said this several times, and sometimes I be in the public and I see people's faces, man, they be visually upset. Because they can't believe that they kin to black people. Even though black people are the greatest people on the earth, the Israelites. That make no sense. But anyway, thou shalt not hate the Edomite, for he is thy brother and our sisters. And most of us are just cousins today, right? Thou shalt not what? Hate an Egyptian, because thou was a stranger in his land. We were a stranger in their lands, whenever we were there, in the captivity. Okay? So the Most High just tell you not to hate them, okay? Now, that doesn't give them a free pass, okay? When the kingdom of God is established on this earth, there will still be a certain amount of time before the grown-ups, I'm talking about of the Edomite males, may return and actually live inside the land once Yah has judged the Mount of Esau, the Zionist crew, okay? Because he's going to run all them out, okay? Now, what he's saying right here in verse number 8 is the children that are begotten of them shall enter into the congregation of Yah in their third generation. Okay? So let's say the male is an Edomite male. He's in America, okay? and he wants to at least exit and leave America. And let's say his children are maybe 5 or 10 years old. By the time his children become full adults, they'll be able to come into, I'm talking about the males, right? The males will be able to come into the congregation at that particular time, because that at least 30 years would have elapsed, okay? All right? But until that point, may they visit the land? I would say probably yes, visit, but they can't stay in the land once the Zionists are judged, okay? So let's get some understanding about this, okay? Now, when it says coming to the congregation of the Lord, it's talking about the kingdom of Yah. So whenever the kingdom of Yah is established, the quicker we get established, the faster they can get there, okay? The quicker we can get it established, the faster they can get there, okay? But as you can see, the third generation, so at least 3 generations, or I would say 30 years, right? Some say 60 years, something like that, will have to elapse, okay, before they can come in. I'm talking about the males of the Edomites once they're removed from the land of Israel, okay? Now these, I'm talking about the ones coming from other places, okay? But most of them, for me, hey, just, I was sitting in America, until I, figured out where I wanted to go, all right? Now, there may be other opportunities where we may need them to do this or do that. We'll bring them to the land, to do different work or whatever the case is, then, they'll leave. Or they'll be stationed close by, so we can bring them to the land, do different work, and, then they'll go back, okay? But they can't come into the land physically and stay into the land, right? Until that third generation completes. Okay, if they should still be alive, then them and their sons can come on right on in, to the congregation of Yah. And the reason Yah has done this is because he wants to be able to make sure we get back to the land and establish his kingdom, okay? And everything is up and running, the temple's built, and all these important things that we're going to have to do when we get back to the land. So that's a very important thing. So, what they should be doing at this particular time, especially if you're an adult, let's say you're 30, 35 years old, something like that, then just make your plan, Just get you an escape plan from North America, okay? There's a lot of places to go, okay? And then naturally, now the daughters, they can come in who want to serve Yah, yes. But the sons and the adult males can't come in from other places, I'm saying, until after the time period has elapsed, okay? But there's reasons for that, okay? Like I said, different insurrections and different things like that may happen. Now, if your skills should be needed and we need you, then we may summon you, bring you in, let you do your work, but you go back out. You can't come and lodge in the land until after that third generation has elapsed, okay? And don't worry, 3 generations is not a long time as compared to 400 years, okay, that we've been out of the land of Israel. A long time, maybe even longer than that, all right? But their children can most definitely come in once it's established after that time period elapses, okay? I'm talking about the sons of them. Naturally, the Edomite females, well, they can come in, all right? All right. So, because we got to get this thing established, okay? There's a great many things that we have to get established, all right? In the land they call the state of Israel today, which we're going to change that name in the future, okay? We have a lot of things that we have to get done and work we have to get done and things that we have to get established, okay? So that being said, now, whenever the Most High runs the Zionist out, okay, the women who are left in the land, they'll be able to stay in the land, and their children, okay, that are left there, they won't have a problem. So we're not talking about the ones who are already in the land. We're talking about the ones who are not in the land, okay? the ones in the land, those little small children, most of them, I'm talking about including males, right? They'll still be able to remain in the land. As you can see right here, when you go to Jeremiah 49, the Most High tells you that right here. Because he's talking to Esau, you know what I mean? He said, leave thy fatherless children, I will preserve them alive. You see what I'm saying? And let thy widows trust in me, because the women have become widows, because those men going to get ran all the way out. Okay? Those Zionists will get ran all the way out. But their children are still be in the land, and their wives will still be in the land. So they'll be able to stay in the land, okay? But I'm talking about those males trying to come from other places. Slow down, pump your brakes a little bit, okay? The key is you can migrate to another territory or another country, okay? But you can't come in and lodge in the land until after the time period has elapsed. Okay? Now, should you still be alive at that time, then you can come on in. Okay? Or should we need you for a particular project, you can come in, work on your project, but you'll have to exit. Okay? You won't be able to actually be in the land permanently. Okay? This is the very reason why I just talked about what I talked about with the black woman. You have to get back to the black man. Because you're not going to be able to come into the land with these different cultures of husbands. Okay, if you're married to an Edomite, or if you're married to a Moabite or somebody like that, okay, you're not going to be able to come into the land with them. All right, they'll have to be stationed outside the land, and you have to see each other like that if you should want to come into the land. Let's say you're a black female and you married to like a Moabite, and you want to come back to the land. Well, the black female can come back to the land, but her husband would have to stay outside the land, you know, somewhere close by, in order to see his wife, if they wanted to make an escape, you know, out of the door to Babylon. Okay? So I hope I'm explaining this where you guys can understand it, all right? All right, I hope so. So let's get down to let's have a look at it. You know what I mean? Because sometimes visual aids works a little bit better. All right? The Moabite test, or the Moabite women. You may come to the land. You may come to the congregation of Yah when it's established, okay? As long as you're there to serve Yah. You don't come back with Chemosh and Milcom and Buddha. Yeah, we know all about y'all's idols. You don't bring that back with you, okay? Edomite women, or we call ourselves Jewish women. You may come to the land, okay? All right? As long as you serving Yah, the true God, no problem. And your children, okay? All right? Now, if you have grown children, let's say I would say that's not children, I would say, you know, over, if they're males and they're like in their 20s, well, that's a, you know, anybody over 20, that's a grown male. He can't come in. Okay? So think about these things before you decide to think about the Aliyah, if you're of these other factions. Now, the Canaanites, when you go to Zechariah 14:21, male or female, none. I don't know what a Canaanite is today. Only Yah knows. But neither one of those factions can come in. Okay? Matter of fact, I think Yah says he's going to get rid of them altogether. Okay? Now, for Moabite males, like I said, stage outside of the land in close proximity. If you have let's say, if you have a daughter, okay, and she wants to come back, make the Aliyah and go into the land, right? Okay? Well, then I'm just giving you suggestions on what you can do. Or you can just stay in the United States, okay? Whatever you guys want to do. If you're a Moabite male, then the kid, let's say you have a daughter and she wants to go into the Holy Land because she wants to, you know, serve the true God. Well, this is, you know, but she don't want, you know, you to get stuck in the door to Babylon. Well, then you establish yourself somewhere else, either in your home country, or you establish yourself in one of these countries, you know, like I said, Egypt or Lebanon or Jordan, you know, Saudi Arabia, Iraq, Lebanon, any of these countries, you know, close by where you can always see your family, you know what I'm saying? If you should want to escape the door to Babylon, or just go back, you know, your option, you can go back to your home country of origin, which we do read about. Okay, we do read about that. Okay. Now, Moabite males who have Israelite fathers, those ones can come into the land if their father was black, because they're actually Israelites. They might look like a Moabite, but the fathers may actually be black, right? An Israelite. But the criteria is still going to be the same. And if you got a black father, you still got to be wanting to serve Yah, man, the God of Israel. Okay? Because you look like, let's say you look like a Moabite, but your father is actually black. Because I've seen a few of them. Okay, they look like Moabites, but their father is actually black. And you can, generally, you can kind of tell by looking at them. So, but as long as, those ones can come in. I'm talking about the ones that are full Moabites, no, they're not allowed. Okay? Okay? You have to stage in close proximity. If you're, let's say it's some of your sisters or whatever the case, if your sister's a Moabitess and she wants to come serve Yah, then that's what's going to have to happen. Okay? Edomite women, same exact way. Okay? Come on in the land, Jewish women. All right? All right. But the ones who are already in, now these are I'm talking about ones coming from North America or the four corners of the earth. Okay? As long as you don't serve Yah, you more than welcome. But if you got some above teenage sons, they can't come in with you. Okay? The Edomite males can only come in to the third generation. That time period must elapse. It must happen that way. Okay? So that's what I'm telling you right here. The Edomite males, okay, will more than likely be staged, okay, also outside the land, those traveling from North America, until we get wise understanding from Yah, okay? And I think we have it, okay? The key is when does the establishment of the kingdom of God, when does the clock begin? Whenever we get there and we establish it, we declare that it's established, then that's when the clock begins. Okay? Egyptian males, same process as the Edomites. No different. Okay? That's who is concerning in Deuteronomy chapter 23, okay? And we just want to bring this, guys, to your attention so that you guys can get some wise understanding. All right, on how this Aliyah and this Exodus process is supposed to work. Because I heard they got people telling y'all a bunch of lies, man. Okay? I heard that, yeah. That's why right here in verse number 11, the Most High tells you, leave thy fatherless children. Okay? Children, not grown-ups. Okay? Leave thy fatherless children. I will preserve them alive, and let thy widows trust in me. Okay? So those Jewish women who are still in the land, they'll still be there. Okay, I'm talking about at the judgment of Esau. But the ones coming, from other places, they can come in as long as they have small children that are not, that are not full grown. I'm talking about males. Okay, if they're already grown up, they're basically adults. Those adult males, now they gotta lay back. Okay, stay somewhere else. Okay, until after the Most High, until the establishment of the kingdom of God on earth begins, and then we'll count 3 generations, and then by that time they'll probably be, full grown at that particular point, and then they can come in after that, okay? But the reason why the Most High is allowing that to happen, because he's gonna make sure that we get over there and we establish this thing correctly, okay? That's the reason for that. He ain't gonna have a bunch of going backs and forths and, this person, got a gang of guys together and, fighting back and forth or anything like that. It ain't going to go like that. The Most High is not going to let that happen. We're going to go in and establish this thing right. We're going to get it done right, okay? And there's lots of places to go in the land. No one said you had to go to Israel. A lot of places to go in the world, especially if you got a family. You want to keep them all together. Well, then go somewhere else, man. Okay, you don't have to necessarily come to Israel. Israel's a small place, man. All right? But the kingdom of God, on earth, it has to be established, man. Okay? All right? So I hope that you guys understood what I just told you. I know it's complicated. But go do your own reading. Deuteronomy chapter 23. Okay? Verses 7 and 8. All right? Remember that. Okay? And then after that third generation, all those children, they'll be grown by that time. They can come right on to the kingdom. Come on in and be a part of us. Okay? Because that's going to generally is talking about the outsiders. I'm talking people coming from North America or anywhere in the four corners of the earth. Okay, at the Exodus Aliyah time. If you are already a full-grown male, the Most High is like, the female can come in, but that male can't. That male got to lay back. So for me, if you got a family, just keep your family together, man, go somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? Until after that third generation, then you walk right on in. Okay? Walk right into the congregation. But keep your family together. Don't break your whole family up over the situation. Okay? Just wait for that third. Once you see the kingdom of God established on earth, well, then just wait for that third generation to pass and then walk on in. Okay? All right? Now, let's get down to verse 17 of chapter 23. There should be no whore of the daughters of Israel, nor a sodomite of the sons of Israel. So if you over there, especially in Damona, Israel, man, you guys over there, because I know that's why y'all call Sodom and her daughters. Why? Because y'all cats is, a lot of y'all, some of y'all over there gay. Number one, who everybody who's there right now that's doing that particular lifestyle, gonna get ran out. Okay? But for those down in Damona, Israel, you already know the law. And you know we're going to exercise the law when we get there. So you'll be permitted X amount of time to exit the land of Israel and go somewhere else. If it should become a problem, we're going to let Yah handle it. Yah going to tell us what to do. If we have to remove you, naturally we will. That's without a doubt. You see the law right here in front of you. It don't matter whose son you are or whose daughter you are, whatever the case is. That particular lifestyle is going to be abolished inside of the borders of Israel, okay, in the kingdom of God. Because that's not acceptable by God, as you can see right here in the law. Okay? Unacceptable, man. Unacceptable. Homosexuality. Unacceptable. Okay? By the God of Israel. He didn't design us that way. Okay? So that's all I'm going to say about that. But like I said, if you Edomite males, like I said, you got grown children, whatever the case is, don't take your family apart, Just wait till the third generation's over, come on in at that particular time. Okay? But as for the females who are already in the land, okay, who don't get ran out by Yah, well, they're welcome to stay in the land. Them and their children. Okay? Jeremiah chapter 49, verse 11. All right? Now remember, I have to tell you guys these truths. And it ain't going to sound good to your ears. I'm not here to sound like a Joel Osteen or T.D. Jakes. Okay? I don't tell y'all smooth thing. I give you the rough version of it. Okay? I come right off this page of this book. All right? So we want to get some wise understanding of who can make the Aliyah and who can't, and why you can't make it. Okay? And you can make the Aliyah, you just can't, everybody can't flood into the land, okay? Especially the Moabite males and the Edomite males, okay? Who are of the adult persuasion, okay? All right? Now there's reasons why, because I've already mentioned them to you, because we've already heard about it, okay? All right? So go get you some understanding, okay? If you don't understand, pray to God. He'll give you the answer to it, okay? But at that third generation, hey, you can come on in, should you still be alive, and your grown adult children. Because by that time, if they're children now, they'll be adults by that third. They'll be like 35 years old. Okay, they'll be grown men by that time, but they can come on into the congregation because everything will be established. Okay, looking good, waiting right on you. Okay, at that third generation. All right. Thank you all for listening. Don't listen to anybody else's voice other than the voice you're hearing right now concerning this Aliyah. Okay? You can listen to me, or you can listen to a YOR, or whatever the case is, but that's the only counsel I would listen to dealing with this Aliyah. Okay? All right? Because we're not going to lie to y'all and give you mis and disinformation that you shouldn't be getting. Okay? Especially don't listen to anybody else that's not a Hebrew Israelite. All right? You see it right here in front of you. The children begotten of them, they shall enter into the congregation of Yah in their third generation. So that means when the kingdom of God is established, 30 years or 40 years after that, whatever it is, 60 years, I'm not sure exactly how many 3 generations is. They say 10 years, but it may be a little longer than that, right? Well, after that 3rd generation, hey, y'all can come right on in, walk right on in. Okay? All right. Thank you guys for listening. I know it's complicated matters, but we want to discuss it ahead of time so you're not surprised by it or you've heard something ignorant from somebody else that's not true. Thank you all for listening. Peace, and y'all bless.